I want to begin tonight with a confession that may unsettle you. Everything you have been told about how long this takes, the hour-long sessions, the elaborate preparations, the rituals of readiness, is wrong. Not partially wrong. Not wrong in minor details. Wrong in its fundamental premise. I am not saying the practice is unimportant. I am saying the barrier to entry you have been handed is a fiction. And that fiction has cost you more than you know, not in years of wasted effort, but in years of postponed living. Years spent waiting until you felt ready, until the room was quiet enough, until you had accumulated sufficient spiritual worthiness to knock on the door of your own life. Here is what is actually true. You need 5 seconds. That is the whole of it. 5 seconds, and the willingness to use them without ceremony. I hear the objection already. Surely something this powerful must require more. And I want you to sit with that objection for a moment, not to dismiss it, but to examine it honestly. Because embedded in that thought, surely I must do more, surely I must earn it, is the very assumption that has been keeping you outside your own life. The assumption that the state you want to occupy is far from you, that it must be approached with preparation and effort, that you must build yourself up to it the way a man builds up his courage before an ordeal. The state is not an ordeal. The state is not far. The state is closer to you right now than your next breath. It is, in fact, where you already are, only wearing a different inner arrangement. Tonight, I am going to show you how to change that arrangement in 5 seconds. In the queue at the shop, at the traffic light, in the elevator while it climbs, in the pause between two sentences of a difficult conversation, in the thousand small, invisible cracks of your ordinary day that you are currently walking through as the old version of yourself when you could just as easily be walking through them as the new one. But first, I have to correct a lie. Most people, when they hear the word state, imagine something dramatic, a trance, a surge of feeling so powerful it reorganizes them from the inside. And so they sit down, close their eyes, and wait for the lightning to arrive. When it doesn't, when after 20 minutes of sincere effort they feel nothing more than mild frustration, they conclude that they are bad at this. They are not bad at this. They were handed the wrong map. The state is not an emotional high. It is not the rush of joy you feel when you first clearly picture the dream. That joy, I want you to notice this carefully, is the joy of new having. Beneath it, there is still the living memory of not having. The person who has just become rich still remembers being poor. The person who has just fallen in love still remembers loneliness. That excitement, that particular flavor of relief and disbelief is not the state. It is the entrance to the state. The state itself comes later. It is quieter. It is in fact almost boring. It is the off-courseness of someone for whom the thing has simply been true for long enough that they no longer think about it. Watch someone who has been wealthy their entire life. Watch how they look at money. There is no thrill, no clutching, no quiet, anxious recounting. They regard money the way you regard the wallpaper. It is simply there, simply part of how their world is arranged. That settled, unspectacular, of course, is the state of wealth, not the dance when the deposit lands, the wallpaper feeling that lives unremarkably long after. Watch someone who has been deeply loved their whole life. Watch how they receive affection. There is no bracing, no silent voice underneath asking, is this real? Will it last? Do they truly mean it? They receive love the way a field receives rain, without surprise, without suspicion, as simply what happens, as a fact about the universe rather than a fragile gift. That is the state of being loved. This is what you are aiming for. Not fireworks, wallpaper, the inner posture of the unsurprised. And here is the beautiful, almost unbelievable truth. You can step into that posture in 5 seconds. You do not need to feel your way there across an hour. You can simply choose it, the way you choose to stand up from a chair. The state is not earned, it is occupied. Let me tell you something about the hour-long session that nobody warns you about. When you sit down for a long practice, something happens that is almost too subtle to catch. You arrange yourself, close your eyes, and say inwardly, now I am going to do the work. Now I am going to enter the state. And in that very setup, you have already placed the state outside yourself. You have made it a destination, and destinations require journeys. So you begin the journey, reaching for the feeling, trying to manufacture the emotion, willing the vision into greater clarity and greater vividness. And the more you reach, the more it retreats. Because reaching is by definition the posture of not having. The hand stretched towards something is a hand that does not hold it. After 20 minutes of this, the mind grows discouraged. I'm not feeling anything. I must be doing it wrong. I must not be ready. And you rise from that session more deeply persuaded of your own lack than when you sat down. You have just spent 20 concentrated minutes when the mind is most receptive and most impressionable, practicing the feeling of the state being just out of reach. The 5 seconds cannot do this. There is no time to reach. There is no time to look around for the state. You have to be it immediately or not at all. And it turns out, and this is the thing that will change everything if you truly let it land, that being it immediately is entirely possible. It was always possible. The state was never the problem. The ceremony around the state was the problem. Here are the 5 seconds. I want you to read them slowly enough that your body understands them, not just your mind. 1. Stop. Wherever you are, whatever the day has been doing to you, whatever thought has been running, you stop. Not dramatically, not with effort. Like a gentle, deliberate pulling of the reins on a horse that has been moving without direction for longer than you noticed. Inside, in the quiet privacy of your own attention, stop. 2. Drop the audit. This is the step nobody names, and it is the one that makes everything else possible. Every waking moment, there is a part of your mind that is reviewing your life, checking whether the manifestation is progressing, counting what has not yet arrived, comparing your current position to where you want to be, measuring, tallying, auditing. For 1 second, put the audit down. Set it on the floor beside you. It will be there when you want it again. But for this 1 second, you are not the inspector of your own life. You are simply here, without assessment, without measurement, without the quiet background anxiety of checking whether things are working. This single second of releasing the audit is for many people the most profound relief they have felt in years. It is the act of stopping the very inner activity that contradicts the state. 3. Choose a version. Bring to mind, without effort, without construction, without forcing detail, the version of you for whom the thing is already true, not the version striving toward it, not the version hoping it might happen, the version who already has it, who already lives there, already loves them, already earns that, already feels that at ease in their own skin. You do not need to build a scene. You do not need a full visualization with colors and sounds and precise particulars. You only need to touch that version of you, the way you might briefly touch the shoulder of a friend across a crowded room. Just acknowledge them. That one. That is who I am. 4. Take their posture. This is the most important second of the 5, and it is the one most often skipped. The state is not only a thought, the state is a carriage. The person who has always had money carries themselves differently than the person who is anxious about money. The person who is deeply loved carries themselves differently than the person who is waiting to be chosen. The healed person, the free person, the confident person. Each one has a way of inhabiting their own body, a quality of breath, a way of holding the chest, a way of looking at the world that is specific and real and entirely available to you in a single breath. Take it, not as a performance for an audience, as a private decision made between you and the law. Wear that carriage the way you settle into a familiar coat. 5. Walk on. Do not stay. Do not close your eyes and congratulate yourself. Do not begin monitoring whether you are doing it correctly. Take the posture, that quiet of coarseness, and carry it into the very next moment of your life, into the next sentence, the next email, the next exchange. There is no line between the practice and the rest of your day. The practice is your day. The 5 seconds was not a break from your life, it was a correction of it. Stop, drop the audit, choose the version, take their posture, walk on. Do it now if you like, between this paragraph and the next. Do not save it for later. There is no later with more inherent value than this moment. 5 seconds done once is a small shift, real but small. 5 seconds done 30 times in a day is a quiet revolution. Most people approach this practice the way they approach a weekly meeting with an important colleague. One session in the morning or one session before sleep, conducted with sincerity and intention. and then 23 hours of living from the old state. They give the law one clear instruction and 50 contradictions, and then they wonder why the results are inconsistent. What if you inverted that? What if, instead of one long session and a contaminated day, you had a clean day woven through with 30 small returns to the new state? What if every red light, every kettle, every doorway you step through, every moment your hand reaches for your phone? What if each of those ordinary moments became a doorway back into the version of yourself who already has it? What you would have by the end of that day is not a life that has been visited by the new state. You would have a life saturated by it. And the law, that faithful, indifferent, exact mirror, would be receiving not mixed messages but a single clear, repeated transmission. This is who I am now. This is what is true now. This is how my life is. And it would begin to reorganize the outer world accordingly. I want to give you a practical architecture because this teaching is not abstract and should not be treated as such. Choose three things in your day that already happen, events that occur without your having to remember them. The kettle boiling, the red light, the moment your feet touch the floor in the morning, the moment you wash your hands. Whichever three belong to the ordinary rhythm of your particular life, attach the 5 seconds to those anchors. Every kettle, 5 seconds. Every red light, 5 seconds. Every time you wash your hands, 5 seconds. Not as a burdensome obligation, not as a duty you perform anxiously, as a brief, private, almost playful correction of your inner climate. Oh, here I am. Let me step back into who I am. Within a week, three anchors become five. Within a month, the anchors are everywhere, and the new state is not something you visit. It is the air you breathe. And then quietly, with less fanfare than you expected, the outer world begins to shift, because it has no other option when the inner world has been consistently, patiently, repeatedly held in a new configuration. I have watched people attempt this practice over many years, and I have watched the same few stumbles occur with enough regularity that I can name them precisely. The first, waiting for the feeling before taking the posture. The feeling does not precede the posture, it follows it. You do not feel wealthy and then carry yourself as wealthy. You carry yourself as wealthy, and the feeling arises from that carriage. Take the posture without waiting for permission from your emotions. The second, arguing with yourself mid-step. People choose the version and then immediately open a quiet internal debate. But is this true? Can I honestly claim this? Am I deceiving myself? The 5 seconds is not a courtroom. You are not prosecuting your vision for evidence of credibility. You are simply occupying a state. Step in. The argument can wait. The argument, in fact, can wait indefinitely because the argument and the state cannot occupy the same moment. The third, looking for a sign immediately afterward. People step into the state and then search for a little flash of outer confirmation, a coincidence, a shift in mood, some small evidence that it worked. But the practice is between you and the law alone. There is no audience, no examiner. You did it, the law received it. Walk on, the fourth and the deepest, treating it as a test. The moment you say to yourself, let me try this and see if it produces results, you have placed yourself outside the state. The tester is not the one who has the thing. The tester is the one who is still hoping it might arrive. Do not test the 5 seconds. Simply do them. You do not try to sit down in a chair, you sit. Same principle, same simplicity. 6 months from today, when you find yourself standing in the middle of the life you used to imagine only in careful, half-hopeful privacy, when the door opens, the relationship arrives, the body heals, the money lands, when the version of you that once seemed impossible is suddenly just who you are, you will not be able to credit the long sessions. You will not remember the candles or the elaborate preparations or the mornings of sustained effort. You will remember the kettle, the red light, the doorway, the pause between two sentences when you chose, quietly and without ceremony, to be the person who already had it. That is where your life was changed. Not in the grand gesture, but in the thousand small, invisible, entirely ordinary moments in which you simply decided not to be the old version of yourself for 5 more seconds. Those seconds accumulate, they saturate, they become the climate of your inner life, and then the outer life, as it always does, as it always must, begins to match. The work is not heavy. The work is not long. The work fits in the cracks of your existing day, precisely because the state has never been somewhere you needed to travel to. It has always been one decision away, one inner step away, available in any moment you are willing to stop reaching for it and simply inhabit it. Stop, drop the audit, choose the version, take their posture, walk on, not later, not when conditions improve, not when you feel ready. Now, good evening. This is Neville Lectures. I'll see you again in the next video.